Welcome to Star Bios, the podcast where we delve into the fascinating lives of Hollywood's most captivating stars. I'm your host, Casey Gold, and today we're shining the spotlight on a true rock legend, the incomparable Freddie Mercury. With his mesmerizing stage presence, soaring vocals, and genre-defying style, Freddie left an indelible mark on the music world. But before he became the iconic frontman of Queen, Freddie lived a life filled with curiosity, creativity, and a dash of rebellious spirit. Born Farrokh Bulsara on September 5, 1946, in Stone Town, Zanzibar, Freddie grew up in a traditional Parsi family with his parents, Bomi and Jer Bulsara, and his younger sister, Kashmira. The Bulsaras were part of the Indian diaspora in East Africa, and their cultural heritage would later influence Freddie's unique blend of musical styles. As a child, Freddie was fascinated by music and would often listen to Western classical music and Indian ragas on the radio. His parents, though traditional, encouraged his love for music, recognizing the positive impact it had on his development. In 1954, at the age of 8, Freddie began attending St. Peter's Boys' School in Panchgani, India, a British-style boarding school that catered to the children of Indian and British expatriates. It was here that he formed his first band, the Hectics, with his friends Derek Branch, Bruce Murray, and Faring Irani. They would often perform at school events, playing covers of Western rock and roll songs, as well as traditional Indian music. This early exposure to different genres and styles laid the foundation for Freddie's future experimentation with various musical forms. During his time at St. Peter's, Freddie developed a passion for art and design, which would later become an integral part of his stage persona. He was an average student academically, but excelled in music and art, showcasing his creative talents through numerous sketches and paintings. The school's emphasis on Western classical music and Indian ragas also broadened Freddie's musical horizons, introducing him to the works of composers like Beethoven and Mozart, as well as Indian classical musicians like Ravi Shankar. In 1964, following the Zanzibar Revolution, the Bulsaras relocated to England, settling in Middlesex. Freddie enrolled at Isleworth Polytechnic, where he studied art and design, and it was during this period that he met his future bandmates, Brian May and Roger Taylor. His family, though traditional, encouraged his individuality, allowing him to explore his passions and develop his unique style. The vibrant colors, textures, and sounds of these cultures would later influence his flamboyant stage presence and eclectic musical style. The seeds of Queen's success were sown in these formative years, as Freddie developed his unique style, honed his craft, and began to assemble the talented group of musicians who would help him achieve greatness. Peter's Boys' School and Isleworth Polytechnic. In 1970, Freddie, along with Brian May and Roger Taylor, formed Queen, with John Deacon completing the lineup in 1971. The band's early years were marked by intense creativity and experimentation as they honed their sound and developed their distinctive style. Their self-titled debut album, released in 1973, was a moderate success, but it was their second album, Queen 2, that started to gain them more attention. However, it was their third album, Sheer Heart Attack, released in 1974, that truly showcased the band's eclectic range and Freddie's impressive vocal abilities. The album included hits like Killer Queen and Now I'm Here, which demonstrated the band's ability to craft catchy anthemic songs with complex harmonies and musicianship. The mid-1970s saw Queen release a string of iconic albums, including A Night at the Opera in 1975 and A Day at the Races in 1976. These albums cemented the band's reputation as one of the most innovative and exciting acts of the era, with songs like Bohemian Rhapsody, You're My Best Friend, and Somebody to Love becoming staples of their live shows. Queen's live performances were always a spectacle, with Freddie's charismatic stage presence, elaborate costumes, and impressive vocal range leaving audiences in awe. The band's 1977 tour, which included a legendary performance at Madison Square Garden in New York City, solidified their reputation as one of the greatest live acts of all time. In addition to his work with Queen, Freddie also pursued solo projects, releasing his debut album, Mr. Bad Guy, in 1985. The album showcased Freddie's ability to craft catchy, pop-infused songs and included hits like I Was Born to Love You and Made in Heaven. Throughout the 1980s, Queen continued to release innovative and successful albums, including The Game in 1980, Flash Gordon in 1980, and Hot Space in 1982. The band's music incorporated a wide range of styles, from rock and pop to opera and classical, and their live shows became increasingly elaborate, with complex lighting, pyrotechnics, and stage designs. The late 1980s were marked by a series of challenges for Freddie, both personally and professionally. In 1987, he was diagnosed with HIV, which would eventually develop into AIDS. Despite his health issues, Freddie continued to tour and record with Queen, releasing the album The Miracle in 1989 and Innuendo in 1991. These albums showcased the band's ability to adapt and evolve, incorporating new sounds and styles while maintaining their signature grandeur. One of the highlights of this period was Queen's performance at the Freddie Mercury tribute concert held at Wembley Stadium in 1992. In his personal life, Freddie faced significant challenges as he struggled to come to terms with his illness. He became increasingly reclusive, surrounded by a close circle of friends and family, including his longtime partner Jim Hutton and his assistant Peter Freestone. Despite his health issues, Freddie remained fiercely creative, continuing to work on music and art projects until the end of his life. Freddie Mercury passed away on November 24, 1991, at the age of 45, due to complications from AIDS. The news of his death sent shockwaves around the world, with fans and fellow musicians alike paying tribute to his incredible talent, charisma, and legacy. In the years following his death, Queen continued to release music, including the album Made in Heaven, which featured vocal tracks recorded by Freddie before his passing. Today, Freddie Mercury's legacy continues to inspire and influence new generations of musicians and fans. His music, style, and showmanship have left an indelible mark on the world of rock, and his courage and resilience in the face of adversity have made him a beloved and enduring icon. As the great man himself once sang, "The show must go on," and indeed it has. That's all for today's Star Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, I'm Casey Gold, reminding you to keep shooting for the stars.